Welcome to your third stimulus check, third stimulus package update. Before we jump into this video, folks, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and ring the bell for future updates. If you like this video, jump up and down on that like button. Do the hula dance and bounce up and down on that like button. And if you can, share this video. Please leave a comment if you received your direct deposit through your Social Security or SDI, or if you haven't. That's what we'll be discussing today, just short, quick video. When will people on Social Security get third stimulus check? Direct deposit date details. Folks, pretty hard to figure out when they're going to send this off. There's no real direct information on this here, so it's just bits and pieces of this and that. To me, that these folks on Social Security Disability should be getting their stimulus check first before anybody else. They're the ones that are affected mostly by this pandemic, and I don't understand what kind of thinking is behind this and how they set up how the people are getting paid. Those who receive federal aid through Supplementary Social Security Income, SSI, or Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, can expect to receive their third stimulus payment in the same way as their regular benefits. However, a payment date has yet to be announced by the IRS. Social Security and other federal beneficiaries will generally receive their third payment the same way as their regular benefits. A payment date for this group will be announced shortly. The IRS advised way back on March 12th, but they still haven't. Federal benefits are usually distributed to SSI and SSDI recipients via their Direct Express card account. The U.S. Bureau of Fiscal Service explains federal benefit payments such as Social Security, Supplementary Security Income, and veterans are required to receive your payment electronically. You must either have the money deposited directly to a bank or a credit union account to get your money each month on a Direct Express prepaid debit card. Only current Direct Express card holders can receive the third round of stimulus payments. The Direct Express website advises. See the company website for more information on how to sign up for the Direct Express card. Third stimulus funds sent to Direct Express card accounts that were recently closed will be returned, and the IRS will reissue the payment, the website says. Community Bankers of America, based on a briefing from the Internal Revenue Service. Additional batches of payments will be sent in the coming weeks, with the vast majority sent by direct deposit. That's a lot of payments, folks. Payments will also be sent through the mail as a check or a debit card again. They will be doing that again, too. So if you're expecting a check or a debit card, just keep checking your mail, folks. Don't throw it away thinking it's junk mail and maybe your card in there or a check. It is up to the sender in this case, the IRS, to decide when it wants the money to be made available. This is literally the moment in time when the money will be transferred from the government to banks and credit unions, settlement accounts at the Federal Reserve. There is no mystery where the money is from. The time for the first payment file was transmitted on Friday, March 12th to when all recipients will have access to the money on Wednesday. It is still with the government. So you know, folks, hopefully a little out of you got received your stimulus check today through direct deposit. In the comment section, a lot of folks say they haven't received it yet. How can I track my stimulus payment? You can track the status of your stimulus payment by using the Get My Payment tool at irs.gov, which is available in English and Spanish. Federal benefit recipients, such as those receiving Social Security retirement benefits, survivor or disability benefits, supplementary security income, railroad retirement benefits, or veteran payments, can also use the tool to check their payment status. Since the past weekend, more than 35 million people have used the Get My Payment tool. That's a lot of people, folks. And received the status of their stimulus payments, the IRS said. The tool is updated regularly as additional information becomes available. Just be aware that some people have reported trouble accessing the tool. Yes, they have. And no point in calling the IRS. If you get locked out, You get 3 attempts. You'll have to wait 24 hours before trying again, folks. Why does the Get My Payment tool say payment status not available? The IRS says if you get this message, either the agency hasn't processed your payment yet, it doesn't have enough information to issue a payment, or you are not eligible to receive the third stimulus payment. Why does the Get My Payment tool give me a message that says needs more information? It's likely that the IRS tried to mail a payment and it was undeliverable. If you get this message, you may have to use the Get My Payment tool to enter banking account information, excuse me again, which will allow the agency to send a payment via direct deposit. So remember that, folks. If you're getting an error code up there, you could get on there and give your banking information. I wasn't eligible for a full $1,400 based on my 2020 return, but I only received a partial direct deposit payment. What should I do? The IRS may have used your 2019 tax return. It's possible, based on that return, you weren't entitled to the maximum $1,400 stimulus payment because you earned too much. However, taxpayers will not receive a third payment if their adjusted gross income exceeds $80,000. If filing or as a single or married people, filing separately, $120,000 if filing as head of household, or $160,000 if married and filing a joint return, or if filing as a qualified widow or widower. Fortunately, the IRS said it will be reviewing 2020 returns, and if a taxpayer is entitled to more money, the agency will adjust the return and automatically issue the remaining balance. So additional payments will be made as the IRS continues processing the returns. The IRS has until the end of the year to issue the 2021 economic impact payments. If for some reason you're eligible for the stimulus funds but still haven't received the money, you can claim it on your 2021 return when you file next year. Who wants to wait that long? What should I do if I didn't get my direct deposit? It's possible the IRS will be mailing you a check or a prepaid debit card with your stimulus payment. So check your mail carefully. Many people in both the first and second round of stimulus payments mistook the debit card for junk mail and tossed it. Well, folks, I hope there's some helpful information in here. Hope you received your stimulus check. If you have, please leave a comment. If you haven't, please leave a comment. If you like this channel, please give it a this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. If you like this channel, please subscribe and ring the bell for future updates. Take care and be safe. Fires that we had in California last summer. But again, folks, good news here starting. A lot of folks are getting their $1,400 stimulus check, excuse me, along with their income tax returns. So that's good for a lot of folks. A lot of stimulating the economy's getting done. Being able to take care of their families, keeping food on the table now. All this stimulus money and income tax returns are taking a lot of stress away from parents here, which is good. Getting kids taken care of. Again, folks, a lot of people have already receiving their stimulus check saying pending in their bank account. If you're one of them, leave it in the comment section after this video ends. And I will be in this chat here during this premiere video here. I'll talk to you guys and greet you as you come in. Some folks was answering, will they get their stimulus check this week? Well, all depends on how you file. If you filed with your 2020 income tax returns with direct deposit, then that's the information the Treasury is going to use to send you your stimulus check. If you didn't get your 2020 tax return done yet, or it says pending, I believe they're going to use your 2019 return. So if you have your information different on that return, there might be a holdup in receiving your stimulus money. I don't know how that's going to work out if you use a tax preparer, because during the second stimulus check, you had a lot of problem with that. Checks were being lost and had to be sent back. But the folks that filed that got their banking information in there, and your banking information is correct, then you'll be in the first round of getting your $1,400 stimulus checks. If you file your taxes and you want a paper check mailed to you, then that's the way you're going to receive as a paper check. That's going to be taking longer than with direct deposit. So it should take up to a month or so longer, sometimes up to 2 months to get a paper check, but that's at the end. And also you could get your stimulus check on a debit card they could be sending you. So it all depends how you filed, when you'll get it, but at least we know it's coming, folks. Myself do not believe there will be another stimulus cash being given out. I think there might be some rental help, maybe. I don't think there's going to be any more extended unemployment. The way things look like here, I'll be showing the news clipping here of Joe Biden talking. Going to have enough coronavirus vaccines for all adults by July 4th. So you could pretty well tell the writing on the wall that with that and unemployment running out the end of August, first week of September, and a rental agreement, that he's hoping that everybody will be back to work. So this is what he had to say on that. Just curious, you guys, have a lot of you received the coronavirus vaccine, or are you hesitant on getting it? Me, myself, I don't think I'll take it. Nobody in my family is going to take it. We'll just ride this out and see how it goes. Again, everybody, a lot of folks are getting their $1,400 stimulus check, which is great news. I just was wondering, it's probably a good debate topic here, but I know I heard President Joe Biden said if he got in office, it'd be $2,000 stimulus check, and then it got turned into, well, Trump, we were given the $600 from Donald Trump, which was the down payment for this stimulus package. So does this mean this stimulus package started from Donald Trump or from Joe Biden? Because it seems like if it was started from Joe Biden, it would be the $2,000 he said. But that's just my opinion, folks. That's up for debate there. As long as folks are getting their $1,400, is better than getting nothing. And I believe on this $1,400, they cannot take it for back child support, from what I've read. But they can garnish it if you owe something. If you have pending lawsuits, lawsuits against you or something from the state, or you owe the federal government money, they could take that. But we'll discuss a little bit about the eviction moratorium extended. A lot of folks out here having some very hard time paying rent here in California. Rent is so high, folks, you wouldn't even believe it. There's some people paying over $2,000 a month rent. Get down to San Francisco, it's really high, $2,500, $3,500 for a studio apartment. So you got to try to work out something with your landlords, folks. A lot of those landlords actually have their homes for an investment, so that rent money would go to pay for the house because it's not paid for. Fire, insurance, and taxes, and that's all it was doing. They weren't making a profit. So when all this happened with this pandemic and folks can't pay rent, landlords got to get it from somewhere, and they got where the government will reimburse them up to 80% of the rent. So try to work out a deal with your landlord to pay that other 20% till you get on your feet. Talk goes a long ways, but if you ignore your landlord, it makes things really difficult for you. Because sooner or later, all this eviction moratorium is going to end, and there'll probably be a lot of problems. Now, I know they got some stuff in the work where the government wants to pay 100% of the rent to the landlords and keep it where they won't be able to give the renters a bad rap where they can't rent another place if they had to get out. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of landlords out there making it very hard on folks, especially on top of all the stress they got, the ones that can actually not pay rent. And that has to be very hard on them. And I'm sure there's a lot of renters out there that, with all this stimulus and the boost unemployment and everything, can pay rent and they refuse to pay any. But most are actually just can't pay rent. The COVID-19 Tenant Relief Act was signed into law January 29, 2021. The act extends eviction protection to COVID-19 impacted tenants and established the State Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Eviction moratorium extended. The Act extends tenant protections included in the Tenant, Homeowner, and Small Landlord Relief and Stabilization Act of 2020 to June 30th, 2021. These protections were originally set up to expire on February 1st, 2021. The Act includes the same eligibility and program rules as being included. That still helps out the landlords and the tenants a lot. Prevents evictions for non-payment of rent by tenants. Available to any tenant who timely attests under the penalty of perjury that he or she has not been able to pay full rent due to COVID-19. If a tenant pays at least 25% of his or her rent owed between September 2020 and June 2021, they are permanently protected from the eviction for not paying their full rent during this period. However, they will still owe their landlord all unpaid rent. Landlords may still proceed with certain other types, just cause evictions unrelated to a tenant's failure to pay rent. Emergency rental assistance programs available for households with incomes at or below 80% of the median income, with a priority of helping households at or below 50% of the area median income, as well as households unemployed for the preceding 90 days at a time of application. Priorities the payments of rental arrangements. Landlords can choose to accept 80% of any unpaid rent owed from April 1st, 2020 through March 31st, 2021. If a landlord accepts this funding, the landlord agrees to forgive the remaining unpaid rent for that covered period. If a landlord chooses not to participate, the tenant can still apply for relief value at 25% of the unpaid back rent they owe for the covered period. Qualifying tenants will also be able to access funds to cover 25% of prospective rent for the months of April, May, and June 2021, subject to funding availability. Utility averages will also be arrangement will be eligible to be paid subject to funding availability. The state will directly administer $1.5 billion through either the State Rental Assistance Program or through block grants to qualifying local jurisdictions. Emphasis on multilingual local outreach, fraud prevention, and customer service. Programs will be stood up to begin accepting applications in March 2021. Protect tenants impacted by the COVID-19. Limited public disclosures of eviction cases involving non-payment of rent between March 4th, 2020 and June 30th, 2021. Protects low-income tenants from landlords assigning or selling their rental debt to a third-party debt collector. Pay or quit notice period for non-payment of rent extended from 3 to 15 days. Protects tenants from being evicted for just cause. If a landlord is shown to be really evicting the tenant for COVID-19 related non-payment of rent. Landlords may not charge late fees for non-payment of rent between March 2020 and June 30th, 2021 to tenants who have attested they are experiencing a COVID-19 related hardship. Require landlords to notify all tenants who owe back rent about the availability of the Rights and Rental Assistance Program via an information notice by February 28, 2021. Protected property owners impacted by COVID-19. Provides extended consumer protections for request of mortgage forbearance for homeowners impacted by COVID-19 until September 1st, 2021. Well, folks, hopefully this was some helpful information for you renters and your landlords. Try to work with your landlords, folks. I'm sure a lot of them will understand. You're going to hit some of them that won't. But most of them understand almost everybody's been impacted one way or another by this COVID-19 pandemic that we are all going through. So I would say try to work things out with them the best you can. If you did receive this stimulus, all of your stimuluses and bonus unemployment, try to put some of that away, because this eviction moratorium ain't going to stay in effect forever, and neither is this pandemic unemployment here. Again, folks, hope this helps you out a little bit here with some of the stuff that's going on with tenant landlord rights. Read it good. If you have to go back through it, watch it again.